good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This show is seen at all different times, and I hardly know how to give my greetings anymore. This is Senior Issues, etc. I'm your host, Vita Verdon. And listen, I want to tell you something. From the first show I gave 12 years ago, I always had your best interest in mind, and I've always brought you the latest innovations. And this is a show that you need to have a paper and pencil, pay attention, and write down this information, because I've got a lot of good information. So hurry up. I'm going to give you 1 minute now to go get your coffee, your Pepsi, your beer, whatever it is. Come, sit down. This one's for you. Now, what I have for you, the first half of the show is the latest information on the loop that they're putting in different places for people that have hearing aids. And I have an expert, and I have a cutting-edge doctor. She's been on before, and I'm so happy that she could fit it into her schedule now. And she has got the latest information on. So I want you to sit back, open up your ears, and pay attention. This is a Dr. Linda Remensnyder, and she's got all the goods for you on what this is all about. Dr. Remensnyder, I'm so happy you could make it back and give us now the information and tell our audience, our listening audience and our viewing audience on what this is all about, the loop that they're putting in all the different places. First of all, tell them about yourself a little bit and where you're located.
I'm a doctor of audiology, and I've been in practice 31 years. We have practice in Libertyville, in Lincolnshire, sorry, and in Gurnee.
And now just look into that camera and tell them, and we're going to tell them what is this loop.
There's a new innovation in the United States that's been around for over 40 years in Europe that allows people with hearing loss who wear hearing aids to link right into the sound system in environments that are hard to hear in, such as places of worship, airports, subway systems, television rooms, and now the Marriott Theater, which is in Lincolnshire, and it was just looped last week, and it had opening night 2 nights ago. And so this is a hearing aid. I'd say 70% of all hearing aids have a button on them called the telecoil, and the person who wears the hearing aid pushes the button, excuse me, and the button links the individual directly into the sound system. So anything that is mic'd, whether it's the music, whether it's the actors or the actresses, whether it's a priest, a rabbi, a pastor, whether it's someone at the drugstore where you don't want everybody to hear as he explains how you take your medication, to the newest venue, which is all the new taxi cabs in New York City. So the person wears the hearing aid, sorry, puts the hearing aid in their ear, hits the button, and then everything that's mic'd is heard directly in the ear.
All right, now first of all, I want you to give out the number where they could find out where these loops are and what locations.
Okay, we have 30 loops in Lake County alone, quite a few in DuPage County, quite a few in Cook County, as well as throughout the whole United States. If you want to learn where they are in Lake County, Cook County, or DuPage County, you should call our office at 847-662-9300. If you want to know where they are nationwide, and there's more than 1,000, approaching 2,000 venues that are looped, you would go onto this website, www.hearingloop.org, and then link right into the link, and it'll say where are places that are looped, located, and then you can track your own state.
All right, now would you give those numbers out, because this is important. Very slowly, give your number and then give the other number out, the website.
Okay, my number is 847-662-9300, and the website for the nation is www.hearingloop.org. And as you can see, I'm going to put my hair up. The hearing aids don't have to be large or cumbersome, but I do want you to know that prior to this hearing loop, people would have to go somewhere, pick up a device so that they could wear it under their chin. Most of the time the device didn't work or the battery was dead. It had some hygienic issues where we would be worried about who wore them before you. And then you would have to return them after. So it would take time to get it, time to return it, and then what you had was pretty obvious, and it was also something that didn't always work. Plus, this hearing aid knows exactly how I hear. And so all incoming sound is tweaked or customized to my own hearing loss. And if I have different hearing in each ear, it's customized for each ear. And I have 2 hearing aids on. And so when you go to the Marriott, or when you go to any other theater, or when you go to a concert, or when you go to church, or when you go watch your television, the words are so crisp. It's like having a loudspeaker right in your ear. And I can't imagine anyone not wanting it every single place a person would go.
So because of technology, it's moving so fast in our world today that it's hard to get the word out to people who need to take advantage of all these latest innovations because of not understanding it. We're going to go through some very simple thoughts. First of all, this is for people that wear hearing aids. Let's go right down to the primary basics.
It's for people who, who wear hearing aids. It's also for people who need hearing aids and haven't yet bought them, because then they can go get a headset and rent it over at the ticket counter.
All right. Now the next step is, with a person with a hearing aid, it has to be a hearing aid with this device that has a button on it, and the button has to be pushed to hook into this loop that's installed in these different facilities. Am I correct in saying that?
You're right. It's like it is a wireless connection,
it's a wireless,
so you don't have to worry about tripping on anything. And I'd say 80% of all hearing aids have the button. Now, if you get one of those hearing aids that look like a bullet in your ear, there is no telecoil button. Or if you get an implantable hearing aid, there is no telecoil button. But for those of your listeners who wear a cochlear implant, there is a telecoil button on that. And we have a wonderful video that we could share with you of a little girl where the parents bought a TV loop for that little toddler, and her sitting down for the first time on her mom's lap and watching a cartoon and hearing the words. I can't begin to tell you, out of all the things I've done in the 40 years I've been an audiologist, this has had the greatest impact, and my patients absolutely love it.
All right, so let me put it to you in a different language from a different perspective. Now, on my computer, for me to get online, what I have is a wireless hookup. That means my hookup, the modem that I have, isn't in the same room. My modem is hooked up in my kitchen close to my telephone, but my computer is in my bedroom. In order for me to get online, I don't have to go and plug something in. It's a wireless hookup, okay? So this is the same kind of a hookup that I'm talking about, is a wireless hookup. You don't need to take a wire and go plug it in someplace. When you press this button that Linda showed, take it out and show them again, because I want this clear to our audience. See? In there, there's a little tiny, tiny button that is pressed. When she presses that button, and she's in a facility like the Marriott, we're from Libertyville, Illinois, and Lake County, the church closest to where I live is St. Joseph's Catholic Church, and they just hooked up their loop in that. And so the person going into the church or into the Marriott facilities, they press that button and they're hooked into that wireless hook, and that clarifies for a person that's hard of hearing, like they have a speaker and that's toned and modified for your specifications according to your aid, that you will have a clearer sound. Now that's a breakthrough technically for people that are hard to hear. So I want you to tell your friends, I want you to spread this, because this is word of mouth and this can't go out fast enough to people. This is a big help for people. So we're so happy that we could be part of this pioneering effort to get the latest innovations out, because you know what our goal is? Our goal is to live forever. And so we have to need all the help that we can get on what's the latest thing to help us keep right on the front line. And we're so happy that you are such a big innovator in this field to help in this breakthrough. Dr. Remensnyder, we want you back periodically to give us the latest word to help us in our goals.
I would love it, and I want to remind you, it takes care of background noise, it takes care of reverberation, it takes care of distance, so you can sit up in the choir loft and hear your pastor right in your ear.
Stay with us. We have another segment to come.
Thank you.
We're back again, and I hope that you still have that paper and pencil ready, because I have two people here that have vital information for you. So, you know, like I told you in the first half, you know, I have your best interest at heart, and the aim of Senior Issues and everybody on the crew here is to bring you information to enrich your life and give you things that you need. So come and sit down with your paper and pencil, and I have two people here that I want you to meet. One is Martin Perez, and the other is Ashley Fallos. And what they represent, they're representatives of Catholic Charities organization, and we're going to find out what that is and take away the myths. So Martin, I know you've been on Senior Issues before, and
Yes.
Ashley, I'm just going to give you a little wave through. Now, the first thing is, what is Catholic Charities? Martin, if you'll explain that for us.
Catholic Charities is a non-denomination agency that helps anybody other than just Catholics.
You don't have to be Catholic.
You don't have to be Catholic to get our services. You don't have to be a Catholic to work for Catholic Charities neither. But our services are run through all of Lake County. I'm based out of the Round Lake office in Round Lake, Illinois. Ashley's based out of the Waukegan office. We help, in my office, we help seniors 60 and over. And in Ashley's office, they help the, people that are under the age of 60.
Well, they're just slightly affiliated with the Catholic Church because it's connected to the Archdiocese.
The Archdiocese of Chicago, correct.
Since what, 1912?
1912, yes.
1912. So that's a long time. But actually, it's an agency that money is funneled through for different categories of needs, and it's not just Lake County, Illinois, it's across the United States.
Correct.
All right?
Yes.
But because we're coming from and filming from Lake County, Illinois, but this show is seen in a lot of different areas, Evanston and 25 miles, and it's online with patch.com, Libertyville, and this will be seen across the country online, okay?
Yes.
Well, first of all, Martin, let's talk about you a little bit. I'm going to focus there. And how long have you been with the agency?
I've been with the agency a little over 7 years now, working with seniors since I started. I help seniors that are 65 years of age and older, and those that are disabled under the age of 65 with several different federal and state pharmaceutical programs.
I think that you were on here about 2 years ago, or?
Yes, about 2 years ago.
2 or 2.5 years ago. All right. And if you could go through what kind of services are available for seniors, and then I'll get to Ashley on what she specializes in, okay?
Okay.
That would be helpful for our viewing audience, and how they can contact Catholic Charities, Okay? I think you have an 800 number.
Yeah, we have an 800 number for Catholic Charities for anywhere Lake County, Cook County, if they're looking to get help. The number is 1-800-942-3930.
If you'll give that number again.
The number again is 1-800-942-3930.
Okay. Now let's just start with the basics. What services are available for seniors? And is there like a structure that you have to fit into?
Yeah, for our seniors, you have to be 60 years of age. The different type of services that we can offer are, one of them is the Meals on Wheels program. Then there's also CCP, Community Care Program, where a caseworker will go out to their home and do an assessment and then see how many hours they can give this person per week to get help, anywhere from bathing, grooming, transportation, emergency response system. Is there any other ones?
There's cleaning, I know.
Cleaning, yeah, cleaning.
And somebody will do laundry. They come
Laundry.
in, they'll help assist the person.
Correct. And it's not based on days of the week, it's based on hours of the week. So one person, all depending on the person's score, one person can have 6 hours, another person can have 8 hours. So it all depends on the different score that would come up on that person. And then that's how many hours they would get per week.
All right.
And they break it down during the week.
So if I have this correctly, just to give the audience, if they come in and give me an assessment, and according to the assessment that I'm getting, what I'm entitled to is like 2 or 3 hours a week of services from Catholic Charity.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's done on the individual basis.
It's correct.
Is that correct? Okay, so now, and a lot of these services, one of the things I wanted to say is that you were talking before the show that you go out and give presentations, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you give presentations to senior centers or different groups?
I go anywhere between the senior buildings, police departments, fire departments, anywhere I can congregate seniors 60 and over to talk about the different programs we can help them with. And that's all in Lake County.
That's all in Lake County?
All in Lake County.
All right. So, like, when it comes, when you come in and give a presentation, and if you go in and do cases on seniors, how long between that time are the services available? What is the length of time? It takes about 2 months or something?
It takes about 2 months. What I do is I go and I talk about our services. A lot of people that are out there don't know about our services, so this kind of opens up, the ears and the eyes. And what happens then is they call our office. Once they call our office, they call our intake department. They're requesting for the different services. The intake department would put together a client face sheet, and then it would go to the scheduler. The scheduler would then give it to one of the caseworkers. They would go out and meet with this person. Once they met with the person, then it takes a couple months for all the services to get in place, depending on their score. And then they also gets our case aides involved, where they've got to find a vendor that can go out and help them. So
all right. Now, I know you have a couple brochures. If you'll put it up to so the camera can get a view. And with that, I think the camera is viewing in. Give that telephone number again in case they want. What are the services? It's senior services?
This is Lake County Senior Services. Another thing that I do, part of my work, is teach seniors education on how to prevent themselves from being a victim of fraud against health care. There's a lot of that going on right now, and I go out when I do my presentation, I talk about Catholic Charities, and I also talk about fraud.
Okay, so now give that telephone number again.
The telephone number.
If you put that right up to your chest, I think he'll get it.
Okay.
All right.
Got it? All right. The number for Catholic Charities is 1-800-942-3930.
Okay. All right, now we get to Ashley. Ashley, now you're in a different office than Martin. What is the office that you're located at?
We're located in Waukegan at Lewis and Belvedere.
That's Waukegan, Illinois, right?
Correct.
All right, and now what is the focus? You're not exactly all senior service.
I am all seniors.
You are all seniors.
I'm a case manager for senior services, but Catholic Charities in Lake County also offers things like homelessness assistance, adoption, maternity, emergency assistance. So there's a bunch of different programs in that office.
And even for aid, right?
Correct. There's also an HIV and AIDS program.
Okay. Now, if a person, how do they know if they're qualified?
For the various services, they can call the same 800 number that Martin gave. I'm specifically more familiar with the services, the senior services.
The senior services.
And the qualifications for that.
But if they call up, somebody can discuss with them, and it's the same process for no matter whether it's senior services, homeless services, AIDS services. They'd still have a caseworker. They could either come in to your facility, right?
Well, they should call first.
They should call first.
Correct.
And make an appointment. Okay.
Correct.
So they can call and make an appointment. They can call that 800 number, right? And make an appointment. And in the making of the appointment, then they'll know if they're qualified for these services.
Yeah, I think making the phone call is a good first step, and from there they can get referrals, and if we can help them, hopefully be able to make an appointment.
Now, also, I know that with the economy the way it is, that people are looking for food pantries. Do you have a food pantry?
Catholic Charities in Waukegan also has a food pantry, and we also provide referrals in the Lake County area for food pantries.
And so you give the location of the different food pantries?
Correct, the locations.
So if people refer back to the number for Catholic Charities, then they could find out what's available. Now the food pantry, do you know anything about that? Is it on a monthly basis? Or
I don't know specifically, no.
But if they call up, they can get all that information,
correct.
Right? All right, now I'll get back to you, Martin. Now, what has been the main focus in the last couple of years that you have seen the changes for the needs of people?
Medicine's one of the biggest things.
That prescriptions.
Prescriptions, yes. I help seniors sign up for circuit breaker through the state, and I also help them sign up for extra help through Social Security through the federal part of it. And I've found in the last 7 years, it's a growing number of people needing help with that because of the economy, you know, and then they cut back on some of these programs, and it drops a lot of people out of the programs, and makes it harder for them to purchase their medicines.
Well, I wanted to talk about this circuit breaker program because I don't think that there's enough information on that if people sign up for a circuit breaker, they have to apply every year. They have to apply
every year for circuit breaker. The income does change every year, so you kind of watch closely on that. It's not based on acids. As of these extra help applications, based on both income and acids. They do have to sign every year. They say that the best time to get it done is try to get it done by the end of July. So just in case there's any problems with your application, you got 6 months to get it corrected. They don't like the fact that when someone comes in October, November, trying to get it done, and then if they have a problem with it, it might take them 3 or 4 months to get it corrected. So then when they start the new year off, thinking they got the program, they might not. And if they don't have the program, they end up paying a premium and then high cost for their medicine. So,
well, I know that I apply for a circuit breaker every year, and once you're signed up, they will send you an application for the coming year. But I'd like you to tell a little bit what the benefits are. I know one is you get a discount on your automobile tag.
Right.
Right.
There's several different rebates through the circuit breaker part of it.
Is it partially medicine?
The medicine part comes on the Illinois Cares RX part of it. There's two parts to the program, two different income levels for the program. The one program, which is the rebates, is where if you pay rent on property that pays taxes, property taxes, you can get a rebate check from that. Then you also you get a discount on your license plate sticker, where you would pay $24 a year for. And then they changed the ruling on the Ride for Free program for the Metro CTRTA PACE. You have to be qualified under circuit breaker in order to get that type of help. The Illinois Cares RX part of it helps the person that has the program pay for their premium for their Part D plan, and then discounts for their medicines, where they'll pay $5 a copay for their generic, $15 for their brand name medicine, and then $20 for any catastrophic medicine that they take.
So if they want help on that, they also could contact Catholic Charities now, because I know that this is a little bit confusing for seniors to know if they're eligible, what and how they're eligible for. And so what we have is the Meal on Wheels for seniors. We have the home care. We have cleaning, laundry, bathing.
We also have
taken to the doctor.
We also have an elder abuse program. If we get calls from the police department or a friend or a relative that someone they believe is being abused, we'll investigate it. And then if we have to, we go all the way into the court system to get that person out of that type of environment.
Well, I think that we should publicize it a little bit on this fraud thing, because I know that seniors are like known. But you know what? I think we're just about running out of time, so I'd like the two of you to come on periodically, you know, like maybe every other year or once a year, to update us on the programs, because there's so much available. But you know what it is now. When you out there come to the end of your rope, I want you to take a rope and hang on and tie a knot, because the best is yet to come. And what we want you all to do is catch the spirit.